Ramadan Kareem. I think the timing of this conference is outstanding and could not be better in view of the developments that are taking place in the region, and more importantly, to focus our energy and our attentions on the continuing trouble that Iran is imposing on the region and the world, as well as its relentless and vengeful crackdown on the people of Iran. Notwithstanding the fact that this should be a period of peace and blessing on all the peoples of all faiths. As we all know, the regime in Iran carries out an enormous amount of malignant activities and atrocities under the banner of Islam. And yet we know that this is not the true banner of a religion that is peaceful, as well as seeking to heal all injustices around the world. The mullahs do not practice peace, they practice war. The mullahs do not practice mercy, they practice vengeance. The mullahs do not practice good government, they practice corruption. And anyone who stands in their way, who opposes this regime, who is a true Democrat, a true man or woman of peace, is not a person that this regime will tolerate. Those of us who've come to know Madame Rajavi and the MEK and the NCRI have come to realize that her leadership is a leadership of Islamic peace and tolerance. It's a leadership that offers the Iranian people a new democratic future, an end to the tyranny of the mullahs. Like all Abrahamic religions, Christianity and Judaism, the Islam that Madame Rajavi practices is a religion that seeks to remove the shackles of human bondage that is practiced by the mullahs in the name of merely holding power and using religion as a mechanism from which to do so. And it's important for all of us, whether we be Jewish or Christians or Muslims, to recognize the continuing dangers that the Tehran regime poses to the Middle East, as well as to global peace and security by virtue of its continued support of extremist groups and terrorism. And despite all of the concessions that were made by Europe and by the United States to this regime in order to enter into a flawed Iran nuclear agreement, from the minute that this ink was dry on that agreement, the Ayatollahs were cheating, stealing, and camouflaging their willingness to continue to violate the very principles that they had signed up for. We should have no illusions that nothing that they sign, no agreement that they make, not even their willingness to permit verification, is able to withstand what essentially is their overabiding desire to promote revolution in the name of Islam around the world. They continue to engage in bomb making when they claim they are not. They continue to launch ballistic missiles when they say they're defensive and they're not. They crack down at home and have killed over 3,000 Iranians in cold blood since the November 2019 uprising. And the list goes on and on. I make one clear statement on that. Anyone who believes that Iran is not determined to build a nuclear bomb is sadly mistaken. Anyone who believes that the Ayatollahs wish to promote peace and security in the Middle East is sadly mistaken. Anyone who believes that Iran is willing to fight the Islamic State and terrorism and Al-Qaeda and other terrorist organizations is sadly mistaken. We continue to see the regime operate with impunity in support of these terrorist organizations. The proper policy for Iranian people is to align itself with Madame Rajavi and her democratic aspirations. It is, after all, the democratic alternative, the most important and viable democratic alternative to a regime that will indeed promote separation of religion and state. I want to wish all of you a Ramadan Kareem again, and hope that this year we will live indeed not only with a year of peace and prosperity, but for all of the people who've suffered through the virus and through the pandemic. All of us hope and wish your families the greatest of health and happiness in the year ahead. Thank you very much.